What is up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to the Berserk manga, this time with the chapters Sea God parts 1 and parts 2 and 3. Just check I'm recording. Made that mistake a few weeks back and don't want to do that again. But yeah, looking forward to seeing the end of this. Of us taking on the Sea God, I imagine, and then as I mentioned a few times, I will be doing the last 3 chapters in a row right here. But do let me know what you guys think about these chapters down in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date with these reactions. We'll just have a quick little recap. We had some beautiful artwork as usual last time, seeing Barnice and seeing her progress here, going to be protecting the ship, although something did arise at the end of the chapter surrounding the ship. I don't exactly know what it was yet, but some kind of bubbling thing from underneath the water. Maybe that's to do with the sea god here, but yeah, we got a pretty good view of that in the last reaction. This ginormous mouth, which again just takes me back to the eclipse, of course. Just having these chompers right in your face. Imagine that might affect Guts a little bit. Always seems to. Chompers and Guts never seem to get along too well, but yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing them fight today. But again, let me know what you guys think about these in the comment section, and we'll get right into Sea God Part 2, Chapter 320. So we've got a little shirker here on the back, and I think we said something about going in its mouth, right? We're going to be like jumping into its giant mouth. Nice. Nice. Again, we're getting a few more of these, aren't we? This type of style right here of seeing the action kind of come across like this. Really cool shot here. A little action shot. Eee! Don't get pulled off. What are you doing? He's not a beanbag. There are hundreds of you. Can't one of you manage to catch him? They are kind of beanbags, to be fair, right now, aren't they? Quite funny, Shirka going eek like that. It's like, it's not even her real body. It's not even, she is experiencing it, but she's also like physically not experiencing it. It's quite funny. Ooh, really nice artwork here. Getting another few leaps. Like trampoline park. Out of the way! I'm trying to jump right into that freakishly huge maw. Well, it's not going to be hard to, surely. It's fucking ginormous. It is absolutely ginormous. But again, I'm kind of thinking what we saw at the end of that Beastman chapter with like the water bubbles might be like arising from this, just creating so much of a disturbance around the island. It might actually just be like shaking the water or something. Or perhaps Farnice will actually have to like protect the ship, which I kind of hope to see actually. I don't hope to see it because it means the ship's in danger, but I'd hope to see her protect it. Yeah, here he comes. What? He's goddamn insane! What idiot! He let himself get eaten. That's like a little fish jumping into a whale's mouth. What good does he think that's gonna do? He'll be shit by tomorrow morn. He'll be shit. He'll be a stinky poo. Floating little turd in the water. That's quite funny. The imagery I'm thinking in my head right now, just like Guts' head, like outside of poop, just floating. Arr! That takes care of most bothersome of the bunch. Now we'll be free to feast away on that goddamn annoying stallion and his cohort brethren. It's the climax of the festival. Let's be on our way. Again, it really does seem like this sea god has taken quite a liking to Bonebeard here. Oh, I do like how his hat looks like a bit of like a clam now as well. Looks sea-like itself. Of course, he's all kind of wriggly and such in general now, but Yeah, I do like his design as much as maybe he's getting a bit annoying now. Maybe we're seeing a bit too much of him. He better not survive this. I wouldn't expect him to, being that he's like part of the organism now. Oh god, what's this? Did we get shut out? Oh no, we're inside now. Like opened its throat or something. Okay, there's so many ships in here, bloody hell. So many ships. Will it be able to digest this? Clearly it's having a hard time. Looks like we made it in. That was crazy. It even glows a little inside this damn thing. I guess there are squids like that. Got its own light source in here. That would be a questionable thing actually, wouldn't it? If this was real, like, how would they see in here? I guess that explains that. Like some legendary ship graveyard. They must have been dragged in by those tentacles. The sea god takes in its victims and makes them part of itself. So repulsive. Yeah. So what do you plan to do now? Look how huge its stomach is. Inflicting a small wound in here would only be like being stuck by a little fish bone. Don't you hear it? A cannon? Is the seahorse bombarding it? No. I think that's probably its heart, right? Beating heart. Boom. That's a pulse. It's the sound of the sea god's heart. That's a pulse? It's amazing, isn't it? It sounds like cannon fire. Well, actually, I suppose it is. Doesn't matter how big its body is, when it comes down to it, this thing's nothing more than an octopus. Even a little bone means trouble if it sticks in the heart. But with this sound echoing all over the place, I'm not sure where its heart is. Can you tell, Shirka? Makasete. Leave it to me. If I follow the flow of Odd through its body. Yeah, she should have a decent enough time finding this. There. Above to the right where its blood flow gathers. We'd better hurry. Those tentacles out there aren't about to ignore the seahorse. Now, we could scale the stomach wall or cut through it and push through the entrails, but both ways would take too long. Guts. Stomach acid. Oh, imagine this is actually what is. I don't really know what stomach acid looked like coming out, but I can almost guarantee it doesn't look like this. Can imagine if it did. Little horrible little mouths, just like throwing up on you. It looks like it wants to deal with us quickly. It would also be pretty cool if you could control that. I've always, like, less so recently, but when I was younger, I always had this weird, like, fascination with my body in terms of I always used to eat a lot. I still do eat a lot. My metabolism isn't quite as good now as it was then, but I've always had really good metabolism. But not just that, I've always seemed to like will my body in some ways. Again, this is on the topic of me when I was doing drugs. Like sometimes I was able to will myself kind of out of being in a non-sober state to being sober. It was really weird. Like I felt like I could control my body more than a normal person could in a way. If I ever, it's just hard to explain. But again, if I was like drunk or like if I was on drugs, I'd always be able to like control it a little bit and it not actually get to me. Like I always used to lose control. I think this is actually maybe the psychological thing, honestly. I always used to when I first was doing drugs and drinking, I always used to lose control and I'd be a bit of a mess, and I'd always used to get really kind of messed up remember especially Mandy, MDMA, that one would always get me really messed up. But it then got to a point, this isn't just a tolerance build up, because I never really done Mandy or anything like that too commonly. It was, again, mostly meth I done quite commonly. But at a certain point I just turned to, like, it almost like didn't affect me at all, and I could turn it off when I wanted to. It was a weird kind of control. I think it was maybe a bit more psychological, but I always felt like I had a control of, like, my inner body, strangely. Again, less so nowadays, because obviously I don't do any of that really at all. I had a beer the other night, the first time in a long time. But yeah, I don't do any drugs or anything anymore, so I don't really know about that nowadays. But I've always felt like I could always control my body in a manner different from other people. Maybe everyone could do that, I don't know. It didn't feel like everyone could do that, because everyone else I was with during those times seemed like a mess. But I almost kind of, to myself, seemed sober in comparison, even when I was doing a lot of stuff. But would I have been able to control my stomach acid? Definitely not. There's so much of it. We need to hurry and get out of here. This works out well. Huh? We'll let it carry us to the top. On acid. You're being reckless again. Ew. Nah, all I have to do is get to the top without dissolving. Which looks a bit easier said than done here, because it's raining down. Luckily it's not kind of sprayed like rain, and more in these kind of almost like dropping paint. So are these recent? Because how are all these ships still here if this stomach acid is this powerful? Just not digested in a while? Guts! Oh shit. Some roaches. I've never seen a cockroach in real life, and again, that's I don't. There's not got any cockroach infestations or anything. But I've seen recently on Twitter. I've seen the state of some people. Like some people, I've always been quite, like, you can tell by my room, it's quite empty. I've always been quite good at kind of keeping, like, my stuff tidy and not having shit on the floor. And I'm like the complete opposite of some of the videos that I've seen on Twitter, where people just like keep all their food and plates, like cutlery and such, in their room for like weeks. And it's like, what do you expect to come from that other than mold and rankness and grossness and just mold? And yeah, it's just awful in my opinion. Some people can't help it, like they just are that way. But I mean, holy shit, you see some of that. I watched a video of these people going around mothers to clean up, and this is a mother raising a child, and they literally like moved something out of the corner, and about 100 roaches just like jumped down. It's like, holy shit. I could not deal with that. Again, that's why I kind of keep the spiders around my house and stuff. If there is anything ever like that, the spiders will deal with it. Get the spiders in. Honestly, is that an actual kind of tactic? I know they've. I spoke a few weeks about them sending cats to somewhere in England or something, and them taking out a load of rats. But would a good equivalent to that be like bringing in like 10,000 spiders to your home? You'd probably have a lot more in a few months, because they're kind of have babies and such. But so maybe not 10,000, but like a big amount of spiders, and get them to deal with like a little infestation. I guess the infestation couldn't be too big or dangerous. So I guess it depends what kind of spiders you bring in. But could you? Is that like a thing people do, get like spiders to sort out their insect invasion problems? Seems like a good idea to me. And again, I wouldn't mind it too much, but I get so many people have arachnophobia and are scared of spiders. Maybe that's not a common practice because of people's perceptions of spiders. Which is a bit of a shame, isn't it? I remember, funny story, one night I was at my friend's doing kind of drinking and drugs and such, and I think I went home reasonably early. We saw this giant spider, probably about that big. It was just on the wall, and then it like appeared on someone, and someone just flipped it away, and it was gone, and no one knew where it went. So I biked home, all the way home, hood up, and I got into my room. I took my hood off, and I saw the fucking giant spider in the back of my hood. So it was literally on top of my head the whole fucking bike home, and I didn't notice whatsoever. And I chucked my jumper. I was like, ah, because even then, I still like spiders and insects then, but I was in a drugged up state, so even then I was scared. Ended up just putting it in a box and putting it outside. It was a massive one though. Now I found that both scary as fuck, but also I did laugh my head off a bit as well, seeing that. And so, oh shit, that's where it went. No wonder no one fucking saw it for the rest of the time we're in there. That's the thing, they are scary looking creatures, but aren't humans sometimes? Aren't humans? I don't think I've still got the picture. I would look for it, but I don't think I've it was so long ago. I took a picture of it and sent it to everyone with it in my fucking hood. I don't think I have it though, because it's ages ago. Nah, don't. So I have pictures of like when we were like smoking weed and drinking it on here though. Yeah, I've got some funny photos from that time. As much as it was a negative time, I will say there was some positives. We had a good time, but again, unfortunately, just like with as you can expect from drugs, it just went too far. My friends doing it too long. They increased the usage, increased the potency of the drugs, going from like meth and such to cocaine. And I was never a big fan of cocaine. So they were the moments where I stopped hanging around my friends too much, because every time we go to the pub or anywhere, they'd be doing it. So it's just like, yeah, it just got a bit too much. Multiple vessels to starboard. It's the pirate ship. And I could like handle it while being sober. I was sober most of the, well, every time for like a year or two during those, and again, it just got a bit too much. Just got annoying. It's the pirate ship and a swarm of monsters. Yes, we can. And like fucking Bob the Builder down there. Yes, we can. Okay, so now they're headed for oh, you know what? They didn't really think of that, did they, Shirker and Guts? They didn't really think, oh, if we're not taking on this stuff and it looks like we're defeated, they're going to go after our ship. Didn't really think of that, did we? Be enough about that. Again, it used to make me sick when I used to think about those times. Honestly, it used to, like, me and my friend who quit about the same time, used to really make us like just feel ill. But got over that now. Don't mind talking about it. In a fair few years. Must get annoying hearing about it though, so I don't like speaking about it too much. Well, I have been a lot recently, just because again the themes are like Nana and such recently, and it was a big life experience. It's one of the biggest things that changed my kind of perception of things. So, Captain, there's a fleet's worth of them. We should fall back for now. No need to be scared. We can take them. Wow, there are that many swarming right under my feet? We stand prepared to meet them. Lady Farnese, it is dangerous here. You should go down into the hold. I must remain here to make sure the formation of the 4 holds. Guard her well, sub. Yes, you do it, sub. And you gotta guard Shirker well. Yes. I love the fact that like we could have just like laid her down on the wood, but we're just like lovingly hugging her like this. Really nice. I gotta say, like for this page, was a double necessary? I feel like it wasn't. Unless you just wanted this big shot, this big shot here. I don't really feel like it was necessary here. It looks like we've got another triple up of. Oh, we've got a quadruple. He's also really amping up the double pages. No, our seahorse it has a goddess in command of angels on board. You fucking charmer, you. I got it, so. We fight back. Prepare to fire all starboard cannons. There's a lot of them. Make every shot count. Fire! Quite the volley right here. Quite the volley. Pay it no mind. Full speed ahead, me hearties. And that is the end of the chapter. Full speed ahead, me hearties. Oh crap, they are coming at some speed now, aren't they? Fast little things for sea slugs. And yeah, they are. Go on, Farnies, hold them off. So yep, that is it for that chapter. We'll read some comments quickly before we move on to the final one for today. I'm going to pay that comment any mind. With the first sentence. This guy thinks Griffith's going to die in the next 50 chapters. Good luck. This is what I'm talking about. People have like these cockroaches disgusting as fuck. I never encountered one, and they probably are, but just from the looks of it, they don't look that disgusting, to be honest. It's just the more disgusting thing is the states that they invade. The more disgusting thing is how you got it to that state that they invaded than the actual cockroach itself. I won't exactly agree with this, but I do understand people's thoughts as to why they're not liking these newest arcs and such. I personally, I do agree with this in a way. I wouldn't say bored. Bored is a strong word, but I feel like I was a bit more invested, especially in the last arc. Of course, I think that is probably a thing. Like, compare this to the last arc. The last arc was one of the biggest things, one of the biggest events we've had in Berserk. So anything that comes after that is going to be kind of super hard to follow, that, isn't it? I feel like they've done a really good job of that with the eclipse, and after the eclipse, everything after that was actually still very interesting. But obviously, this just feels like a bit of a side quest, if you know what I'm saying, doesn't it? Because this is a side quest essentially. It's just a stop before we go to Elfhelm. So it doesn't, and you know how it's going to end off. So it's like, yeah. And I wouldn't say bored, but it's definitely kind of telegraphed, isn't it? That is boring to a lot of people. Again, I totally understand those that don't like the direction that Berserk's gone in. Again, I don't agree with it. I don't think that's the case. I do prefer horror usually to any other genre, but I still like this for sure. And again, the last arc was one of the best, top 3 at least. Still think Lost Children is probably my favourite. Still, yeah, I still really like Lost Children. Love the messages in that one. But I can understand where that guy's coming from. And looks like that is it. So yeah, let's get into the final chapter for today. And again, we haven't got too much left, have we? We've got 50 chapters around about. Wow. Okay. Sea God Part 3. I'm trying to zoom in, but it's not letting me. Just going to reload the page quickly. It's not letting me zoom in. Look, they've stopped. I did actually want to investigate the final page a little bit more, actually. I forgot about that. My eyes. Okay. They can't get inside. This wall of light. Let's go, Farnies. Well, I'll be damned. It stopped that many monsters? Not bad, Farney. Let's go. Where's this guy looking at? You are a goddess. Well, naturally, after all that training with Shirka every day, you're the seahorse's guardian angel. I just want to clap, don't you? Just like, wow. Guardian angel, the goddess that is Farnese. I like her progression in this. If anything, you take from this, you take seeing Farnese's progress right here, which is fantastic. Alright, with this many of them, we could hit them with our eyes closed. Keep firing, and at will. Well, let's not forget about the physical stuff. If these tentacles start like chucking physical objects, which I think happened in a previous arc relatively recently, didn't it? We could be in trouble. Yeah, it happened with the ogre, the giant ogre things, didn't it? A little while ago, they just started chucking bits of wood. He's got loads of tentacles, so that's definitely a possibility. Although I'm not sure where they get the wood. Well, they got the ship behind them, so they might just start chucking parts of the ship. Nice. So again, that's the thing I was wondering about, like this kind of physical and kind of astral being type thing. It's like this barrier. If you throw a sea slug, I'm guessing that counts as like an astral being thrown. So the barrier is super effective against it, but it is also material. Like it is a real thing. You can touch it and feel it. It's like, yeah, the distinctions. I'm not really sure where you draw the line with the distinction. Really, again, it's not really important, but yeah, just thinking about that when we in the last episode when Shirka said about the kind of effectiveness against astral beings and worldly things. Nice, got him. That's the way. Blow any of them that get close to pieces. You good for nothing buffoons. And here it comes, the ship. Although the ship's got a big old sea slug in it, so maybe I'm not right about chucking the ship. They rolled right over their own guys. Using them as a ramp. Ah, shit. That's a pretty badass shot right there as well. Steam coming from the nostrils of the shark. The pirate ship's bow got through that light. What's going on? This formation is a spell to defend against those not of this world. It's only half as effective against anything with physical substance. Like I said, like, do these sea slugs not have a physical substance? They do. I don't really get the distinction. Like, maybe you should say it was originated with physical substance. And those that originated outside of the world. But again, isn't the giant sea slug in here? I don't know. Oh shit. So it landed on us. What is it with my playlist? Love plans, Attack on Titan, OPs, and OSTs one after another. Look, guarantee this next one will be Attack on Titan. Well, I don't know. Just loves doing that. I don't know why. It's like I randomize it and it never actually truly seems randomized. That is kind of the thing, though, isn't it? Randomizers aren't actually randomized. They do have an algorithm. As random as you want to make it, it's possible, I don't think. That's a big subject, though, I think. It's a big subject. Look at that little family right there. That's really cute, isn't it? It's also interesting how this kid's like still with us. I can't even remember how he left last time. He just kind of seemed to leave. But he obviously feels safe because he hasn't left us yet. Oh dear. I like the little Puck trying to help out. Anything, Puck's got his scarf, so nice. Yo ho 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 ho. Now we can finally get down to some swashbuckling. Oh dear, swashbuckling, hey? Nice shot here as well. Again, I love these kind of technical up designs of the pirates. Oh, they got the bodies now as well. They've just got their human heads on. Strange, isn't it? Strange, but cool. I don't know why. This guy, I recognise him from somewhere. That might be like a reference to someone, but I don't really know. Bossman. And they're still calling him Bossman even in this state. Bossman, my body's kind of numb. I don't feel anything below the waist. Just pretend you were stung by a stingray or something. Now then, gents. Time for you to pay back in full the debt you owe. Oh, look at that horrible tongue. And then after we slice you up and eat... apologies, guys. Then after we slice you up and eat our fill, we'll let bygones be bygones. And it will be a tentacle's life for us. Oh, God. You know what, I do like Bonebeard. Again, maybe it's a bit too much, but you can have too much of a good thing. It'll be a tentacle's life for us, literally. Oh God, but it's such a stereotype as well, but in a good way. Jesus Christ. Aye, we'll all be true brethren of the... Oh, little bomb. Oh, nice. Yes, that's what I want to see. I want to see some exploded eyeballs. Face explode from the inside out. What? Tentacles life? The octopus? Do you know what I'm going to watch tonight? I'm going to watch... Well, maybe not tonight. I've got football later. I always end up knackered afterwards. But at some point I need to watch When Evil Lurks. I've seen so many good things about that movie. I'm not sure, I don't think I brought this up already, but I heard plenty of good things a while ago, but I think it's Argentinian, so it's a foreign film, so it's like hard to actually kind of, for me to watch subtitles on a movie, much harder than watching subtitles on an anime, honestly. But it's been so highly rated, and I've heard such good things about it, I need to check this out. I've seen some of the opening scene of it, or one of the opening scenes with the first kind of victim, if you call it that. First infection. I think it's like an infection or a virus or something. But I've seen this guy right here who looks absolutely disgusting. Look at this dude, and the effects look fantastic. So this scene right here has made me want to watch this. I watched this. It was only like a 5-second scene of him just lying there and like some horrible ooze just like dripping out of his mouth. Yeah, horrible when things like that catch your eye, but that did catch my eye. And that was my oh shit, yeah, I need to watch that. And even though it was in Spanish / Argentine, you could actually like properly hear, like, there were subtitles in the little clip I watched. You could actually like probably hear like there was some fantastic acting in there. That's what I'll say, even though I couldn't understand it. Yeah, gonna watch that at some point this week, hopefully tonight after football, but I guess we'll see. What? Tentacles life? Yeah, octopus? Make that sucker. That was just terrible. That was just terrible, that one. Who in their right mind would ever want to become one of you nasty ass tentacles? And you stink like squid. You want to be squid on a stick? Just like a Japanese salesperson right here. Got a little light for the bombs on his dagger. You ain't brethren of the sea, or nothing anymore. You're just fruit of the sea. Time for a thrashing. I like it though, Cedro standing up like this. Standing right at the front like this. Get over here. You betcha. We've also got vinegared squid. I've nearly convinced myself I was a mariner too. Mariner. When did you put that on? Yeah. Fuck does look pretty good right now. Oh. What do you dogs know about Tentacle's feelings? Can it, you slimy creep? I mean, good point. We don't really know too much about Tentacle's feelings at all, do we? Looks like he ate his own meal. But yeah, his own squid. That's bad for business. But yeah, here we go. Oh, look at little Puck getting on the action. One of the first ones in there, head first. One of the biggest pirates. Let's go, Puck. So I think this is actually one of the first times we see him attack, other than his kind of flash that he's done before, the elf flash, which we haven't seen for a while now. It's obviously not that useful, but this is one of the first times we see him fight like this, honestly. Yeah, look at the Cedro taking on Bonebeard. Go. And so we're back to the cockroaches. These remind me of course, Pandemonium San from Gintama. Pandemonium San. I spelled that right. Yeah, they remind me of these little cockroaches, which, yeah, you can see here, end up being one of Shinpachi's first girlfriends, I believe, for a little while. Quite cute there, but yeah, this is what they actually look like. That was a fun episode. That was towards the end of the original season. Pandemonium San, I'll never forget you. There's no end to them. We've nowhere else to run. I can't wait for Gintama to be back. I think it's got a new movie coming out. I think I saw released. It's just a remake of the Courtesan of a Nation arc, but I do need to rewatch that one, honestly. That's a fan favorite, and it never really clicked with me all that much. I did like it, of course. It was great, but again, that's a fan favorite. It's never been one of my favorites, so I do need to rewatch that. So that's pretty good. I think there's going to be a few additional scenes in there, so that's awesome to hear. But yeah, obviously quality will be amazing. There's obviously Ginpachi Sensei as well coming out soon, I think, which is a new anime. So lots of Gintama to look forward to after its ending. Which I kind of feel bad because, again, Spire is really so synonymous with Gintama. It's such a shame that the lead singer no longer the lead singer of Spire, because he really felt like they really fit Gintama. Like Spire does, they just are Gintama. It's just, yeah, the tone is so well fitting. Yeah, enough of that. Where's the ceiling? Still a bit out of reach. The mast. These things are weighing it down. It's collapsing. Like, I imagine these chapters maybe affect some people more than others with their scaredness of cockroaches and bugs like this. Like the feeling of having like these little black dots coming towards you like this. But again, I don't really feel any kind of way about it. I wouldn't in real life, and well, again, I've never encountered them, so I don't know if I can actually say that. Like I said, I was a little bit scared of that spider during that time, but yeah, you can forgive me. Wasn't in exactly the right mind. Even then, I just put it outside calmly. They're calm creatures, spiders. They're calm creatures. It's like, do you not realise that they know that you're a fucking giant? Like they're terrified of you. You're an absolute giant to them. I guess not many people actually think from the perspective of a spider, but I enjoy thinking from like different perspectives. I think maybe you guys already know that, but yeah. Hey, Gus, you wouldn't. They're just going to attack the ceiling. Guts! That should do it. A giant hole has been opened. We're full. Now we're getting sucked. Getting sucked in. What? What happened? The stomach acid has pressurized. Oh, we got scientist Guts here. What? How would Guts ever know this? I've not even read it all yet, but how would Guts ever know this? The stomach acid has pressurized all the gas in there and it went gushing out like a burp. Now, this was not common knowledge during these times. Again, I know it's a different universe, I know it's not the real universe, but this was not common knowledge. It's not common knowledge nowadays. It definitely wasn't common knowledge during these ages. The stomach acid has pressurized all the gas in there and it went gushing out like a burp. I didn't know how thick the stomach wall was. Whether I could cut through it or not was a gamble, but it paid off. Again, is that realistic that Guts would know how to do this? I mean, I don't put it past him that he'd just slash at the skin just for the hell of it. But I don't know, that seems a bit too questionable. Please stop being so reckless. Not that you're likely to listen, but you're giving me an ulcer too. Sorry about that. Looks like we're just getting started though. Is there some kind of horrible parasites right here? Or some ant, spider, parasite type things. Nasty. You do see, I've seen a lot of nasty parasites living in insects and stuff. You hear about like those zombie parasites that take over the dead bodies of insects and roam around to find another body, take over. Like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Classic movie right there. I can't remember who the actor is, but he's in quite a few British things. For Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Looks like this. There's a few versions of Invasion of the Body Snatchers as well. I'm talking about the 60s, late 60s one, I believe it is. I think it's like 68 or something like that. Might be early 70s. I'm not sure. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. 78, not 68. 10 years off. I really thought that was 68. Interesting. Yeah, I forget this guy's name, but he's in quite a lot of British stuff. I've seen him quite a lot. I can't remember his name. When was the last version of this then? Was it 19? Well, the first version, 1956. When was the last one? 19. Interesting. 1993. The Invasion 2007. I've never seen either of these. Teenage Gun, Father, yeah. Body Snatchers. Probably haven't heard of these for a reason, but I'm going to check them out quickly anyway. 6 stars is not bad. It's an interesting cover. Pretty cool cover there, actually. I don't like the kind of contrast, like. Looks absolutely perfect behind it, but I like I like this. So it's funny because it's like you expect what the inside would be the invaded part, but it's like the opposite. I don't know anyone from this cast. Oh, I know Forrest Whitaker. I don't know anyone else from this cast. Never seen this one. Directed it. Abel Ferrara. Never seen any of his movies, I don't believe. No, I've not seen a single one of his movies. Miami Vice, 2 episodes. No, never seen a single one of this guy's movies. And what was the other one? The Invasion, 2007. Oh, surely I would have heard about that. That's like my prime time of like horror. Got fucking Daniel Craig in it? And what's her name? Oh, I've never heard of this. Oh god, it's not looking great. Great ratings wise. That's probably why. Nicole Kidman, that's the one. What the fuck? How was this not a great movie? What the hell? I've never heard of this. Excuse me? Jeffrey Wright as well? I recognise that woman. Don't actually know her though. What the fuck? Is this actually, it's probably like loosely connected, I imagine. No, it is actually like the same kind of plot. Wow. What the fuck? A young-ish Daniel Craig right here. I don't want to watch the trailer, but probably a bad idea. Fuck. And I would watch this, but it looks like it's been rated terribly. So I don't think it's worth it. What the fuck? Are you guys just to find out about this as well? What the hell? That's the thing. I think they're good at hiding stuff like this, aren't they? If actors have got a bad movie, you see it with Texas Chainsaw: The Next Generation, and that's got some big actors in it. And you see movies like that, crappy movies try and use the big stars. They weren't big stars at that point, but it's like their first roles. They try to use the big stars as the selling point in an absolute disastrous movie. But I'm pretty sure like the big actors, organizations and agents and such are very good at covering up kind of bad movies like that. You never really truly cover it up, but no, I've never seen anything directed by this guy either. Very interesting. Never seen anything directed by this guy. Das Experiment. Is that German? Looks like he directed a load of German movies and stuff. You're telling me he directed loads of German stuff then? It looks like he had this big movie here called Downfall that I've never seen. Looks like I might need to check out. And then he got a chance to direct Nicole Kidman and Daniel Craig. Sorry, this is quite the tangent I'm going on here. Traudel Jungle, final secretary of Adolf Hitler, tells of the Nazi dictator's final days in his Berlin bunker. That sounds interesting, that does. Looks like it is fully German. German cast, German language. Ah, that sounds good though, doesn't it? Biography. That sounds interesting, that does. But yeah, let's get back to it. Sounds interesting. Looks like this thing's inside. Looks like this thing's insides are a den of monsters. They eliminate foreign enemies in exchange for nourishment from the sea god. They complement each other. Yeah, they're kind of parasites, though not bad. They're good parasites. You do have good parasites, of course, in the real world as well. You do get the nasty type, as I said, with the kind of zombie bugs, but you also get the type that is a kind of I'm going to sound like a genius so I get this right. It's like biosynchronic, something like that. Biosynchronic relationship where, like, for example, a turtle has a parasite that kind of cleans it, and in return for you see this with birds, like cleaning animals. Birds, like, they'll clean like an animal's teeth, like a tiger's teeth. They'll simultaneously clean the tiger's teeth, but they're also gaining some nourishment from the food inside the teeth. You see that with a few things. animals that kind of codepend a little bit. I think that's probably the word I was looking for, codependence. Or it's not exactly depending, but kind of a relationship like that is interesting. Always like seeing that kind of stuff as well. Little cute little animal videos of them like working together and stuff. Wow, too bad. We might not be permanent residents, but our den's at stake too. Time to force our way through. Fight, fight, fight your way through, or else every last one of you is shark bait. Don't let them win. We'll take the high road while they're busy with you. Yo ho ho. This be why tentacles rule. Okay, buddy. Yes, let's go, Serpico. Give him some of that wind sword. Oh wow, he can use magic too. Wind's charm guy. Wind charm guy? Is that one of those little charms you have outside your house that blow in the wind at night and stuff? Kind of look like he's hanging himself. But nah, as I said, I think it's one of those little things you have outside. Eve! Oh! That's incredible, stowaway. Oh, Buckethead! Wrong! I am the Black Moustache Knight. Remember that. Is that what we're going about now, huh? The Black Moustache Knight. Okay. Do you know what? Is this? It's quite funny, isn't it? Is this actually? What was his name? I forget his fucking name now. It's been that long. I almost called him Mozgus. What's his name? I forget. But what if it's not actually him in there? What if it is someone that's just like stole his armor? That would be quite funny. I think it is that. I think it is the. There's been plenty of dialogue that has shown it to be Farnese and Serpico's old companion, but Azan, that's the one. Yeah, there's been plenty of dialogue to say it is Azan, to be fair. Incoming! Farnese! They are little cutie little vines. Vines better than tentacles. A lifelong battle. My snakes saved the day. And looks like we're not actually going to be defeating the sea god in these chapters, which I kind of half expected, but with the way they were named, that seemed like it would be the case. But I kind of half expected it to not be the case. What are you doing? You usually fight harder than this. Easy for you to say. Hard to move when your lower half's numb. Just pretend you got stuck by a cone snail or something and make up for it with spirit. Oh, let's go, Cedro. This is what we're here for, baby. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Again, some good stuff in here. Again, love seeing Farnese's progression, seeing her protect the ship. That was wonderful. Of course, she couldn't fully protect it, but that gives us an opportunity for Cedro to shine, doesn't it, and step up right here. Love to see that, because we haven't really. I was always expecting and hoping for more of a Cedro and seeing a bit of his journey, because it is a little bit like Guts. He does relate to Guts, and I would like to see like another version of that perhaps, but I haven't really got that to this point, so that'd be good to see. But yeah, other than that, like I said, I don't agree that it was boring, but this definitely does feel, again, you know where it's going, if you know what I'm saying. This is pretty telegraphed. You could say that about a lot of things. A lot of things pretty telegraphed in media and such, but yeah, I just we just know what's going to happen. So it's not like I'm on the edge of my seat or anything. But yeah, we'll read some comments quickly before we move on. Well, before we finish off for today. Yeah, it kind of seems like the case. Florida seems like a nuthole. Funny enough, on the bus I had today when I went to my city centre, I had a couple crackheads on my bus right in front of me. They were, I'm pretty sure they were crackheads. They looked pretty unkempt, but they were talking and they were slurred. But every now and then they're just like, they would make this like this weird like sound. Like it's really strange. They're definitely cracked up, I think. Yeah, that was obviously that you don't. Again, someone that's done drugs and done meth and such, you don't feel like an embarrassment or anything during when you're like high like that. You just feel good, feel not sober. So yeah, it doesn't seem it's them, but they yeah, they were quite the attraction, I guess. Got a lot of attention. See, that's not too usual. Well, I say that it's not very usual comparatively to other places. Like in Florida, I imagine that's and quite a few places in America that I've seen. I wouldn't say it's a normal sight, but I've seen like roads and kind of long strips of America that are just like contaminated with contaminated is a bad word, but like contaminated with people addicted to drugs. There's this one drug, I can't remember what it is, but like it just like knocks people out. People like they're pretty much unconscious. They're just like lying there still. Yeah, it's a nasty business. A nasty business. That's what that is. I'm glad I never got into too dirty drugs. Don't get me wrong, I've done some dirty drugs, but I've done drugs I've never like known what they even are. Like legal highs. They were legal when I first done them. Then they became illegal. Hence they were called legal highs. But I think it was just like a concoction of like loads of drugs and like loads of random stuff, and you never know what you got, of course. I remember one night I did do some, and it was just a dark night. I don't know if I hallucinated this, but my mum picked me up. I was like 14 or 15 at the time. My mum picked me up. I don't think I hallucinated this, but two men were coming after me, and they were like right near the car. My mum never said anything about it, so maybe I was just like, I was in a real hurry, and I was really scared because they were so close and they were like coming after me. But again, my mum never said anything about it, so I don't really know if it ever happened, to be honest with you. But yeah, I just felt really dark that night. It was really strange. I didn't feel too kind of messed up, but yeah, that's the thing. When like I wouldn't say proper out in the country, but there's not, for kids, there was not really much to do except for in the country other than kind of do drugs and stuff. I play football, do what we could here, but there's not much to do other than like drinking and doing drugs and such. So yeah. As I was saying on my point, it does kind of seem like America is kind of a bit of a crazy place. So honestly, wouldn't be too unexpected to see a load of like sea hares and cockroaches and such just appear out of nowhere in some American town. Well, that's what's good about America, though. There's possibilities, even though some of those possibilities are disgusting and awful. There's also the opposite end of that, where you get loads of great possibilities and loads of great stuff. Again, you guys know I really do like America. I think it's an amazing place, and again, a lot of people in England and Britain and such don't like Americans and such. But I've always, as I've mentioned a few times, I've always really liked the way they think, and just the way America is. It's losing itself seemingly a bit as the years go on. The patriotism and such really isn't too much of a thing, but I've always been a fan of that, honestly. Who's Luca? Guess that's some kind of commenter. Yeah, Australia as well. I mean, America doesn't seem bad whatsoever in comparison to Australia. Australia has loads of bugs, and that's the thing about Australia as well. It's got loads of bugs, but it's got a load of dangerous bugs, like really dangerous bugs and stuff. Even the kangaroos will beat you up if you're not careful. I bubble you. Yeah, a few people saying this, aren't there? Again, I'm not the biggest fan of this current arc. Again, I like the progression we're seeing with Farnies. Biggest takeaway for me, we've got some pretty good horror scenes earlier on in this arc with the I'm always forgetting fucking, you know what, Lovecraftian kind of stuff. Pretty good setup, but as I said with the tentacles, it's like tentacles. It's not much you can do with tentacles. Not much you can make can't really make tentacles. Like, it's such a cliche and such that you can't really make it too interesting. But Bonebeard, you know what? He's had some great moments. As much as he's getting a little bit annoying, he's had some great moments, to be fair to him. But yep, that is it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Load of like people arguing in the comment section, which, yeah, that's the way internet's going nowadays, isn't it? It's just nothing but arguments and people thinking they know everything. Again, I always just find that hilarious. Another bit of a tangent here, but I always just find it hilarious because you never know what you know until you learn it. Like, you weren't who you are today until you learned to be this way, or you're not going to be who you are tomorrow until you learn something new to change you to who you are tomorrow. And people who always think they're right all the time and know everything, so that's why some people in like the comment section, some of my videos piss me off as well. Sometimes they're just like correcting every little thing. Like, I don't get me wrong, I like being corrected. I like knowing the actual truth of what I'm like saying or what I'm watching. But also, it's just like some people really do just like go to the extreme and just like, yeah, think they know everything when they don't. Like, yeah, don't let that stop you from letting me know stuff, because again, I really do appreciate it. But some people say their opinion is fact. That's maybe more what I'm trying to say here, saying that their opinion on this, on how I see this thing as fact, and mine is wrong. It's just like, no, it's a matter of what position you see it from. I've got my own experiences, you've got your own, and again, we'll learn. I might learn in the future that my opinion was wrong there, and I'll obviously grow from that. But yeah, just comments and like Twitter you see, and it's like, it seems like social media is just like, it really has been just like a massive negative on like mental health, on people's personalities and such. It's definitely affected me in a negative manner. It seems to have affected like a whole generation in a negative manner. So yeah, it seemed like a great thing, connecting all these people around the world so easily, but yeah, it's another big topic that I'm not going to go too far into, but it kind of has. See, with like TikTok, like China, like I think they limit the users, like Chinese users, minutes on TikTok because it's that damaging, scrolling and scrolling. Whereas obviously they don't implement that rule. There's a whole thing with that was actually kind of created to attack like subliminally like America and all these other regions, so that their future is kind of in doubt a little bit more because they're all addicted to TikTok. And I find that quite funny. Honestly, it could be true because it is kind of doing that. But yeah, do let me know what you guys think about these chapters in the comment section. Again, a whole another tangent there, so apologies about that. Leave a like on the video if you guys would like, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date. I'll be back next week with the last 3 chapters of this volume. Again, overall this volume has been okay. Obviously, again, comparatively to the last arc, just it doesn't compare whatsoever, of course. That's the thing. It's the big like what we just read, it compares nowhere near to that. But still some decent stuff in here. Like I said, we'll take the Farnese and Isidro developments for sure. But yeah, we finish off next time with Booming Art, A Call from the Deep, and then Mero Part 1. So see you guys then. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys.